Hello everybody, good evening and welcome to That's Football. It's Manchester City against Real Madrid in a Champions League qualifier and I hope you're ready and excited. I'm not using that light, it's light blue. I don't want any jinx here working for Man City. Let's go purple. Yeah, I'm not having any of that. I know how these things can work. Yeah, massive game. Sorry I was a bit late. I couldn't bloody find where the game is. I was looking on TNT and stuff, and I was like, where's Man City Real Madrid? Where's Man City Real Madrid? It's on bloody Prime. It's on Amazon Prime, so I found it now. But I was panicking. I was like, oh my God, where is it? Where is it? So at least we found it now. That's the main thing. Hope you're excited about it. I mean, yeah, could be a very interesting game indeed. And I hope, well, look, I think a lot of people are expecting Real Madrid to win. Let's get the poll going. Who wins over two legs? Man City or Madrid? I put Real Madrid. Let us know in the chat there. But you know, I will offer up some solace in the sense that this is the Premier League against La Liga, and if I could offer any hope for Manchester City, it's that maybe the Premier League is stronger than La Liga this year. I don't necessarily think it is, but maybe that is something to hold on to. As you can see, that's the Real Madrid side. Courtois, Valverde, Chermini, Asensio, Mendy, Camavinga, Ceballos, Bellingham, Rodrigo, Vincent, VJ, and Mbappe. Very, very strong front four. I mean, probably the strongest front four in world football, I would say. Very, very good. Manchester City, Ederson, Vardiel, Aki, Akanji, and Diaz. Stones, Bernardo Silva, De Bruyne, and then Savio, Grealish, and Haaland. I mean, that to me just exemplifies how weak Man City are at the moment. That they're having to put Jack Grealish in their starting lineup and not Phil Foden. On their bench, Doku, Foden, Gundogan, Mamouche. I think Bernardo Silva is either injured or cup-tied. Oh, no, he's in the team. Bernardo Silva's playing with John Stones. I didn't see him because he was playing deeper. But yeah, I mean, I don't rate Grealish. And I think the fact that he's starting is funny. And I want Real Madrid to win. I can't stand Man City. So, and Rodri's there taking pictures of, I mean, just how I don't know what I think about that. Is it good banter or is it really just shit? So they've got a picture of Stop Crying Your Heart Out, and it's a picture of Rodri kissing the Ballon d'Or, and then Rodri's taking a picture of it on his phone because obviously Vinicius Jr. should have won it. I don't know, I'm 50-50 on that as to whether it's good banter or not. It's the sort of thing I think that could bite them in the arse, let's say that. City gone defences. Pep Doctor park the bus, says Hugh. Dembele, Rafinha, Salah, top three for the Ballon d'Or, says Tanishk. Thank you very much, everybody who's tuning in. Make sure you share the video and smash a like on the video. We did it 1.3 million subscribers over the weekend as well, which is just absolutely incredible for a community like this to be growing the way it is. So thanks everybody who's tuning in. Obviously tomorrow night it's Everton against Liverpool in the Premier League. That game in hand could have a massive impact on the Premier League title. But tonight it's about, well, halfway towards losing one of the favourites to win the tournament at the start of the year. Real Madrid will always be a favourite, and I think at the start of the year Man City would have been one of the favourites as well. We're going to lose one of them, and I think that's going to be very, very interesting. I've also got Dortmund against Sporting on, which I think is quite an interesting game as well. So I'll keep you updated with that. But realistically, I make no apologies. It's all about Manchester City against Real Madrid. Get your comments in. Bruno is the leak, says Marlando. I tell you what. I gotta say, I think the episode on the overlap today was one of those episodes where, I mean, look, they're free to do whatever they want to do. But if you put your opinion out in the public, then we're free to respond to it. I don't massively care in the sense that, look, each to their own, and people can believe it or like it or whatever. But God, I'd love to have been sat next to Scholes and Carragher today. I'd love to. I'd have ripped apart what they were saying. And none more so than the comment about Isak not being an Arsenal player and that he can go bigger than that. And they were talking about Real Madrid and potentially Liverpool. And I was like, all right, I get it. You're trolling Arsenal. But Liverpool bigger than Arsenal just because they're ahead of them in the league race at the moment. Arsenal have been ahead of Liverpool for the last 2 years. Is there really much between Liverpool and Arsenal apart from the fact that Liverpool are going to win the league? And we all know that Arsenal need to sign a striker. So I think Isak to Arsenal, I think Arsenal with a striker would be ridiculous, probably win the league. So to say that Isak doesn't suit Arsenal, it's not big enough for him, I just think it's either really uneducated football opinion or it's trolling. And he's certainly not going to go to Real Madrid because they don't bloody need him. Anyway, we're up and running here, but that's just a starter for 10. I'm expecting Grealish to go at Valverde, says Robert McCormack. Well, he likes a tumble, doesn't he? But Man City's defence has been so bad. I know people are saying that Pep's gone defensive, but his defence has been so bad recently, and they've played so bad recently that I think Real Madrid come into this as massive, massive favourites. Nobby says that Real are going to score in the first 9 minutes. Well, they're on the attack here straight away, and keeper's off his line to get hold of it. I think Man City have got to take a lead to the Bernabeu next week. Jake says you're daft if you think Arsenal are bigger than Liverpool. I don't think Arsenal are bigger than Liverpool. What I'm saying is, I don't think if you're Isak, you look at Liverpool and say they're a bigger pull. That's what they're saying. And Arsenal have been second in the league for 3 years in a row. They're currently one of the biggest pulls in the Premier League. That's what I'm saying. And also, I think everybody in the world knows that Arsenal with a striker will be better. So if they're the second best team in England for the last 3 years without a proper striker, and you're a striker, you'd have every right to think, I'm going to make them the best team in England. Owen Willis says, how can Asensio start? Isn't he being investigated? I don't know, Owen, if anyone in the chat does. Apparently Havertz is injured now. How unlucky, says Rinse Clear. Well, it's an early chance for Man City to whip across into the box with De Bruyne. I don't think Isak will go to Liverpool anyway. I doubt they've got that amount of money, have they? Another corner here for Man City. Trossard is the ref tonight, yes. Normally a very good referee as well. De Bruyne's on it. It's not on TNT. There are games on TNT, but this is on Amazon Prime. Now it's Bellingham bringing the ball away. And he switches the play. Lovely switch of the play there to Mbappe. Into Vinicius Jr. Oh, that's a bad pass. Mbappe can't do it in the Premier League, says Mrs. Stone. 76% of you have gone with a Real Madrid to win across the 2 legs. I'm going to close that off because I'm going to close those legs. I'm going to close that off because I want to do a few more either-ors tonight, especially in a game like this. But I wanted to ask this question, actually. Who would you rather have up front? Haaland or Mbappe? Devon says, do you think Vinicius Jr. is the best player in the world at the moment? I do. I mean, I'm a bit biased because he's probably my favourite player. Nelly says 164 million at least to spend this summer for Arsenal. Well, it'd be very interesting if that deal happens that's been rumoured to be happening with Zubimendi, because I think it'd be a very good signing for them. Ballon d'Or winner, I mean, honestly, I think Mo Salah's got to be in the conversation this year, surely. If Liverpool win the Premier League and go deep in the Champions League, then he's got to be a contender this year, hasn't he? Obviously, if Real Madrid win the Champions League again and they win the La Liga again, then many people will be saying that, well, it should be Vinicius Junior's year as well. Perth Luxury says, have you seen the SPFL's monthly VAR review on YouTube? I feel that VAR decisions in the SPFL are more correct and consistent than the PGMOs. Well, it's not hard, is it, mate? Wouldn't surprise me. Muhis says he was investigated for spreading minor pornography. Oh, okay. Okay. We won't be doing any Google searches on that then. Forest are losing to Exeter, apparently. If you had to bet money on Barca versus Liverpool right now, who would you bet on? I don't know, mate. I think that's why this game's an interesting game. I think I always get excited about the knockout stages of the Champions League, because when you start to see Bundesliga teams playing Premier League clubs and La Liga clubs playing Premier League clubs and Italian clubs playing each other, you start to understand, because look, you can look at the Italian league and say it's really exciting what's happening at the start with Napoli at the top, with Napoli, Atalanta and Inter. But contextually, where does the Italian league compare to the strength of the Premier League this year? And until they start playing each other, you just don't know. So Barcelona might wipe the floor with Liverpool. Liverpool might wipe the floor with Barcelona. So when these games start to happen, you start to see, especially over two legs, if Man City can give Real Madrid a game, then I'd seriously start thinking that Liverpool have got a great chance of winning the Champions League, because if Real Madrid are going to struggle against Man City, and we know how bad Man City are, then you'd say, well, maybe it's not as strong as the Prem, but Kane could win it too. Bayern will win their league, says Mrs. Stone. City have been playing Nunez at right back. They're not gambling today, says Robert McCormack. What's your opinion on Yamal? Is he generational? Oh, of course, Mozza. Yeah. Of course. Ingar. Look, I love this sort of stuff. I haven't watched this overlap episode because I think it would have just, I think when I know what they said about De Ligt and it just pissed me off. That's a lovely ball in. That's good, strong defending by Diaz then, because Mbappe, I don't know how Mbappe didn't get away. I mean, technically that's a foul. It's a soft foul, but technically it's a foul. You're never going to get it, but he had no intention of getting the ball. He was blocking off the player. Anyway, Inga says, did you see what they said the difference between Morpé's celebration and Lewis Skelly's celebration was? They really are clowns. I seen a clip on social media about it. So, were they not happy about Lewis Skelly's Haaland mocking celebration? Is that basically what the story is? And then the Morpé one, they were like, oh, he's just an idiot. It's not as bad. I don't look, in general, I don't really know the context of that. Sporting nearly scored then. Good defending by Dortmund. It was close. But I don't really get. I mean, again, this is just such low IQ football conversation to still be talking about Lewis Skelly's reaction. Oh, Vinicius Junior's through. He might be offside. Oh, it'll be a penalty if it's not. Offside. Offside. VJ was offside, otherwise it would have been a penalty. Yeah, he is. He is offside. That's lucky because that would have been a penalty. Edison on Vinicius Jr. in the box, but he was offside in the build-up. He looked offside in the build-up, and he was. Would have been a stone-wall penalty, though. Haaland should go to Barcelona. Lewandowski is old, says Mrs. Stone. And Rinse Clear says, thoughts on the Rodri Tifo tonight? I think I'm 50-50 on it, to be honest. Yeah, but going back to that, I just want to wrap that point up. Everybody going on about people mocking people's celebrations. I mean, get a life. Get a life with this snowflake society bullshit. I couldn't give a toss. Look, footballers these days, you're not allowed to, threaten each other in the tunnel. You're not allowed to, grab their shirt. You're not allowed to, rough them up a little bit. There's not much left for footballers to wind other players up with. So, if mocking their celebration is a way of getting at them, then please do it more. And the fact that people moan about it is hilarious. Oh, lovely play by VJ. He's got loads of... Oh, what a ball that is. Mbappe. Oh, what a save by Edison. That was lovely play by Real Madrid. Absolute quality in the build-up. You don't see that in the Premier League very often. The link-up play there was incredible, and Man City are losing the ball back a lot here. They need to be careful, City. Good save by Edison, but it was lovely play by Real Madrid, and it ended up with an Mbappe chance. Speed in that final three is incredible. Oh, they're in again. Oh, blocked off the line. It's all over. Man City are holding on here. They are holding on here. It's lovely build-up play. You can't argue with it. Mendy looks like he's going to shoot. Squares it to Vinicius Jr. It sort of got stuck under his feet. He gave it back to Mendy, and Aki was there to put the block in. Man City living dangerously here. Henry was next to Jamie, hence he praised Miles. Says Tanish. Haaland should go to Barcelona. Thoughts on the Rodri Tifo? You can have one player tonight for United. Who you having? I still think it would be Vinicius Jr. Yeah. Thanks for your super chats, by the way. We'll read those out if you're obliged to do one. Oh, he could have got Mbappe in there. Oh, I tell you what, Vinicius Jr.'s first touch has been a bit shit the last couple of touches. Good defending again by Man City. Vinicius Jr. feels he was fouled, not given. Living on the edge here, definitely. Rodrigo's underrated to Devon. Oh, he's a fantastic player, yeah. I thought that was good defending by Aki again, to be fair. Oh, I don't know. Did he get any of the ball? I don't know. Gyökeres would be perfect for Barcelona, says Nelly. I don't know whether Gyökeres is actually playing for Sporting tonight. I've seen Harder play, and I don't know whether he's... I'll have to take a quick look, actually. No, Gyökeres is not playing for them tonight. He's on the bench. So if you're watching him saying he'd be perfect, you're watching the wrong guy, because that's not Gyökeres. Good start to this game, though. It's living up to the hype. 13 minutes in. don't know why they've picked Grealish. He's so bad. Paul Valverde went from right wing to right back, says Mrs. Stones. And IRI says, hi, Mark. For you as a Man United supporter, which player's departure was the most upsetting? I'm talking about transfers, not retirements. Not Rooney, Ronaldo. Ronaldo back in 2000 and would have been 9. Was after the Rome Champions League final. Devastated. Because although we got good years out of him, the prime years went to Real Madrid. And also, he was such a good player that we would have kept winning the league again and again and again and again. Somebody in the chat just said Grealish is better than Garnacho. Better at drinking. Enjoyed my first Super Bowl with you, Mark. Thank you. Oh, I loved it, Crazy M. I love the Super Bowl. I think next year I'm going to start earlier with the playoffs. I just loved the Super Bowl. I really do. I know it's niche, but I love it. Jokeres is in Manchester having tea with Sir Jim, says Ardo. Imagine if he had Vinicius at Man United, Mark, says Wan. Oh, we'd find a way to ruin him somehow, mate. Mbappe 69% over Haaland. Well, I tell you what, I love it. We can have a debate about who's better, or we can do what we do on here. We can do either or, which has been around for years on this channel. So let's just do it. Grealish or Garnacho? Who would you rather have at your football club? $16,000 tuning in. Legends. Thanks, everybody. I tell you what, it's the first real time I've watched Real Madrid this season, and they've been an absolute pleasure. They really have. That front four, I tell a lie, it's not the first time I've watched them this season. I saw them a couple of times in the group stage. But it's the first time I've seen them really connecting. Obviously bringing Mbappe in at the start of the season, you were sort of like, oh, is this going to work? But watching it in the first 15 minutes here, you can see that Rodrigo, Bellingham and Vinicius Jr. understand his movements now. What are you doing for Valentine's Day, says Connor? I've got a couple of things planned, but on the evening, I'm not going to... I tell you what, I'm going to be really honest here. I've always said this. Valentine's Day is for mugs, basically. Why do you need a day to express your love for the person that you're meant to be in love with? Why? So I said to Mrs. Goldbridge, you know that I love you, and on Friday night I'm watching Brighton play Chelsea in the Premier League, and it's live. And I just left the room, and I think in her own way she understood. From an economical point of view, though, if you are thinking about going out on Friday night for a meal with your prospective lover, or let's be honest, you might say you're working and be going out with your bit on the side. Don't do it, because the restaurants will be cutting back on food for efficiency reasons. And the quality of the food you'll get on Valentine's Day will be nowhere near as good. Goal, Man City! Erling Haaland! Oh my God! 1-0 Man City. Here he is, look, the arrogant little shit and his shitty celebration. Oh, I can't stand the guy. 1-0 Man City. Yeah, there's no doubting he's a top striker, but he's still a twat. 1-0 City. I mean... I didn't see that coming. Madrid started off better, but I did say you've got to be careful. I'll come back to the efficiency savings on Valentine's Day in a moment. But, yeah, Madrid's playing that high line, which in some ways Man City will enjoy. And Haaland's not really a problem there. Lays it off to Grealish. No one's gone with the midfield runner. It's a good ball by Grealish, actually. And Haaland's not offside because he's level. They've just not tracked Vardiel. I mean, Man City have been shit this season, but I've said this a few times. Where would they be without Vardiel? Vardiel this season, as a forward player for them, has been involved in so many goals. It's incredible, really. He won't be offside because he was level with Vardiel when he laid it off to him, so 1-0. No, he's definitely not going to be offside there, you can see. And to be fair, it comes from a very good ball by Grealish. But he's still lost to Garnacho by 71%. Even the assist can't help him. I'm surprised they're taking so long on the VAR here because they've got... it's meant to be instant offsides decisions here. They've got the technology, so... I don't know why it's taking so long. I'm a bit worried it's taking so long, actually, because it's not meant to take this long. They must be using the Premier League system. I wonder if they're looking at a handball or something. It never takes this long, does it? It's not offside. It doesn't look anywhere near offside to me. Bloody hell. What's going on? Must be something. Either it must be a technical glitch, or it's very close. I thought they had. I'm with you, Ryan. I thought they had automated offside. Well, they do. It doesn't take this long. Well, apparently they just can't. It's so close they can't judge. Well, you have to give the goal then, don't you? I mean, whether it's close or not, it's either on or it's off, isn't it? Well, I don't know what's gone on there because they were calling De Bruyne over. They were calling De Bruyne over. I mean, if I was Real Madrid, I'd be worried about that. Be very worried about that. I think there's something I think there's something dodgy going on there because that should not take that long on an automated offside, and the fact that they've took that long, it just makes you either way it goes. Why did it take that long? Goal given anyway. I thought it was onside. I thought it looked onside, so I'm surprised it took that long. What happens when both teams have paid you off, says Mrs. Stone. De Bruyne is in again here. Man City, Real Madrid's high line is going to cause them problems here. If only United signed Vardiel a couple of years ago, we needed someone like him, says Kazuki. Would you consider making a poll for donations from the United Stand community to help pay for someone like Roy Keane to come on the United Stand, says Pablo? Mate, you'd need about 50 grand. And that was about 6 years ago. Having a debate with my family at the moment. If you were a Tottenham fan, would you be Ange out or in? I'm Ange in, says Nige G. I would keep Ange at the moment, yeah. I don't think anybody could moan if he was sacked, but I would keep him at the moment because you're not going to get the manager you want in March. February. So, Europa League. It almost feels like Haaland is too dumb to know it should be hard to score, and that's why he scores so much, says Devon. Madrid league goals, says Alex. Imagine if a big company like Mercedes would be run like Man United, that they would adjust their cars to their workers' capabilities, not the other way around. What a mess we got, says Dave King. And Mrs. Stone says, from that perspective, we shouldn't need Mother's Day. Steve Hughes says, I always let my wife's boyfriend take her out on Valentine's Day. Always let my wife's boyfriend take her out on Valentine's Day. I've saved thousands in overpriced meals. It's worth doing, lads. Put the money in crypto. That's from Steve Hughes. And Mazza says, Scholes said he'd rather have a Levy in charge of United than Radcliffe. Do you agree? And why? Oh, he's just hit the bar there, VJ. Do you agree? Also, Gyökeres or Quenda if you had to choose one, says Mazza. I'd go Quenda at the moment. The build-up play is more important than the finisher. What do you think will be the best Champions League game tomorrow? It's a super chat, so I better read it. Celtic Bayern Munich will be interesting. I don't think it will be the best. Monaco Benfica is probably going to be the closest one, if we're being honest. Yeah, as I was saying about Valentine's Day, right? You know, if you go out on Valentine's Day, they're busy. The restaurants are really busy. They're dealing in volume. And any restaurant that's dealing in volume will tell you that the quality of food and service goes down. Christmas Day, going out for your Christmas dinner in a restaurant, you'd be better off going out on Boxing Day. You'll get better service, you'll get better food, because they can take their time more. Busy restaurant means drop in efficiency and quality. So everyone who's going out on Valentine's Day, you're just a mug. You're going to pay more for less. And all because you think you might get a bit when you get home. Which for some might be worth the down. Personally, I'd say not taking you out on Valentine's Day. Brighton are playing Chelsea. I'll take you out next week when it's less busy. Well, Man City are 1-0 up here. Disappointingly. Although I think there's probably some clubs who want Man City to stay in it. People who want the top four. If you're Chelsea, Newcastle, Aston Villa, you probably want Man City to stay in it so they can't focus on the league. Are you scouting Kenda? He is playing in the right wing back position at the moment. Sandeep says you're the best. Lewis Hall versus Lewis Skelly. I'll do that one for you, Peter Parker. Always open to an either or. Tell you what I had for my dinner today. I had my dinner at lunchtime. I had a very, very nice chicken Caesar salad from the pub. And it had lots of Caesar sauce on it, which was lovely. But the chicken was absolutely delightful. Nicholas Lawless says, I'll contribute to Roy. Thank you, Nicholas. Very generous of you. Emily's hoping to get a boyfriend for Valentine's Day. P.S. Haaland is ugly. Love your stream, says Tommy. Here's Vinicius Jr. I mean, for Man City, this is a good scoreline at the moment. You can sit deep and counter. I mean, gone are the days where Man City dominate possession. How the mighty fall. Statistically speaking, they have had more possession. Oh, we've got an injury here. Grealish. Foden's coming on. Well, I think that actually strengthens Man City in a funny way. Grealish is injured. Oh, mate, I had too many points last night. Yeah, man. Proper big un. Yeah. Well, I was down the old Mason's arms. That's Scouse. All right. Yeah. 20 points of calling. I feel fucked, mate. Ah, you do. Oh, all right. My head's banging, mate. That's Scouse again. Never, ever, ever, ever felt so low. Why am I singing All Saints? Bloody hell. Yeah, Grealish off for Foden. In a way, I think it might strengthen them. He's off down the tunnel. He's done that a few times. I'm talking football, of course. So I've had half an hour here, and if you are a Man City fan, or you want Man City to win, you're probably quite happy at the moment. One 0 up. Apparently a little bit of controversy over the goal. But 1-0 it is. I've lost my live chat, which is why you can tell I've been quiet here. Nearly 20,000 tuning in. Absolute legends. Please do subscribe to the channel. Bottom right-hand corner. If you're in the live chat, you might see I've pinned a link to my live show. Only one I'm doing this year. In the middle of Dublin, in the middle of the March international break. Basically, it's... I think we're going to have Danny from The Script there as well, doing a couple of songs and having a bit of a chat with us because he's a massive fan of football. But it's in Temple Bar, right in the middle of Dublin. And if you're about, or you fancy going to Dublin on March the 19th, it's a Wednesday, you can get your tickets while they're available. Links in the live chat or in the video description. What's it going to be about? Well, it's going to be about football and chat if you've been to any of the other shows before. But... also, it's 10 years, really, of doing content on YouTube, so I wanted to do something to mark it. We hit 2 million with the subscribers with the United Stand, 1.3 million with That's Football. So, yeah, I just wanted to mark it this year. And we had some success doing the shows in Liverpool and Manchester and Ireland before. So, yeah, started writing the show, getting ready for it. It's very interactive, good fun, good night. In a fantastic city as well, smack in the middle of it as well. So if you've ever been Ireland before, Temple Bar is a well-known area, and it'll be a great night. So get your tickets, Will there be a driving with Goldbridge section? There sort of is. I'm not driving though, but there are sort of that elements of it. I do everything with it. Here's the offside. Well, he looked miles on. I don't know why they took so long. He looked absolutely miles on. 48 Champions League goals in 48 games is insane. Devon. Grealish injured because they stood around for 5 minutes doing nothing from the VAR. Says 9G. Either or, filing taxes or deep cleaning the house, says Mrs. Stone. Oh, that's a cracking either or, that is. I'd say clean the house. Mark, either or, Birmingham or Wrexham to win the Prem, says Connor. I think Birmingham have got a better sustainable model at the moment. Oh, you can scan the QR code for the live show as well. Check it out with your camera phone. Final score prediction, Mark, says Gabe. Yeah, I've just realised your two names. You're never going to catch me out. I don't know. I think it's hard to predict. I think Man City, since they've got the goal, have worried Real Madrid a little bit. Sam says, I'm a Liverpool fan. I want Madrid out. Yeah, I mean, I suppose if you are an Arsenal fan or a Villa fan or a Liverpool fan, you've got more chance of beating City at the moment than you have of Real Madrid, potentially. Although, Man City are beating Real Madrid. So, as I said, I always say this every year. People can say, oh, look at Real Madrid. They are absolutely amazing. Oh, my God. But you can't judge. Thank you. You can't judge the strength of La Liga against the Premier League until they play against each other. And if Man City beat Real Madrid, well, that means the Premier League's very strong this year, which I suspect it is. Where can I buy your books, is Jordan? What book's that? Oh, Football According to Goldbridge. Amazon is the best place to get it. And they've got the audio as well. They've just had a shot there. Man City again. Keep a standard save from distance, but another shot. Channel of Chucky says, will the live show go up on YouTube afterwards? I don't know, mate. I actually don't know. I don't know what the filming plans are. Can you sing Cup of Tea and Biscuits? I'll do it at the live show. Madrid doesn't have a centre-back and a right-back, says Dead Zone. Yeah, you make a very good point, actually. Juventus are beating PSV 1-0, by the way, and PSG beat Brest 3-0 in their first game. So PSG are going to cruise through. Where's Rudiger tonight? Is he injured as well? Because I know that they've got a lot of centre-backs out injured, but I thought Rudiger was going to be fit. But apparently not. Do you think Lewis Skelly's ready for England, says Nicolas Cage? Well, they haven't really got a left back, so yeah. Oh, over the top. Man City header flicked by Akanji. Nicholas says, Mark, Alan Partridge takes his big plate to restaurant on Valentine's. I think that there are so many Christmas specials, aren't there, of shows, whether it be Home Alone, etc. But I think if you want a Valentine's Day show, you can't beat that episode of Alan Partridge. It's a classic. Will you be doing pictures at Dublin, says Alex? Yes. I hesitated because we've got something special planned, so I didn't want to sort of go and ruin it. But we've got some special guests there as well. It's going to be good. Apparently, the referee that was involved in one of the Chiefs games in the playoffs has been sacked. That's massive if you're into the NFL. I mean, that would be like Michael Oliver getting the sacked for mistakes he's made in a Man City game. Psycho says, would you fall out with a close friend or United get relegated? Mate, you can always get new friends. Chelsea will dominate English football soon, says Umzi. I don't see it, mate, to be honest with you. I've heard a few people say that because Chelsea have got quite a young team. I don't see those young players turning into enough young players to dominate football. I think they'll be a good team, and I think they'll be there or thereabouts, and I think they might win the title, but I don't see domination, to be honest with you. Can you see Garnacho in this Madrid team, mate, says Connor? I mean, Garnacho's potential at the moment. He's 20. He's probably 4 years off from being at the top of his game, but I think he has the potential to go all the way, yeah. Chelsea sucks, says Javi. I saw something today about a Chelsea fan saying their ownership is a disgrace. And I thought, you greedy arsehole. I think Man United fans look at Chelsea's ownership and go, you'd be Father Christmas. Father Christmas and Margot Robbie rolled into one. That's a horrible thought, actually. That's a nightmare. I don't know whether I want a present or a... Anyway. But I don't know how Chelsea fans can moan about your ownership. All right, it's been a bit haphazard, but I'd rather have owners that want to spend money than not. The only thing I would say is that you should have bought a striker. Are you doing Bayern Munich versus Celtic tomorrow? In a sense, no, but in another way, yes. Because tomorrow it's obviously there are more Champions League games tomorrow, but it's Everton against Liverpool tomorrow. So that's the watch along we're doing. Kicks off at 7:30 tomorrow as well, that game. Don't know why. Is it an Amazon Prime game? But 7:30 tomorrow. Is the live show sold out, says Craven? Not as far as I know, unless some of you have just bought a couple of hundred tickets. I mean, it will sell out, but it's not sold out yet. We've not long had it out. Get your tickets. I can't wait. I love Dublin anyway. Why is it in Dublin? Well, it's 10 years show, and I'm not going to give too much away because some of it's the material in the show, but there's a good reason it's in Dublin. Cammy says, I love your ears and I'm straight. Just a standard pair of ears, really. United with Man City's owners, but has the 115 scrutiny, or keep the current owners and get relegated. I'm not... Oh, Johnny, stop it. I think we will have an era when we battled United, says Umzi. Real Madrid have really gone into their shell. Although, Rodrigo's won the ball here. Greedy. Oh, they've messed that up. They had a 3v2. It's amazing how many teams mess up those sort of scenarios. And they have messed it up. It's a corner. Crazy M says Chiefs wouldn't have won with better refs anyway. Chelsea sucks, says Jabby. Thank you. Johnny says, yeah, okay. So I've either got to choose City's owners, but the 115 scrutiny's there, or keep the current owners and get relegated. Can I have City's lawyers as well, in which case I'll take City. I don't think City are getting anything significant. I think a fine, a transfer ban, maybe points deduction. They're not getting relegated or anything like that. I'd take City's 115 because once they've served the fine or the ban, they've still got massive revenue. No, Man City aren't going anywhere. Good shot there from Valverde. And goal kick. Looked like Edison got a tip on it, to be fair. Lucas, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. Get your badge in. Make sure you smash a like on the video and share, by the way. We've got nearly 20,000 people tuning in, which is great. I've got Sporting Dortmund on. That's not a team. That's two separate teams. But it is 0-0 in that game at the moment. Real Madrid trying to get back into it, but Man City leading 1-0. Be a hard game next week. Is it next Wednesday? Yeah, it'll be a hard game next week. The reason I'm not talking to myself there. I mean, what I'm saying is, if this game finished 1-0, I almost think going to Spain 1-1 might be a better result for Man City because you know you've got to score. Go to their 1-0. You sort of go with the mindset of if we can just keep a clean sheet, which you're never going to do there, and then when they score, you've got to change your mentality again. I think it's very hard in... I don't know whether there's a way to change it. I know they changed the... away goal rule, but I think it's very, very difficult to have the second leg away from home. Which is what I think. I think Man City need... They need more than a 1-goal lead here. West says, Man said tied is better than winning. I'm surprised you've even commented there because the intelligent take is mine. Because you didn't listen, did you? I said, if you go to Spain with a 1-0 lead, your mindset will be, let's protect what we've got and let's be a bit defensive. Whereas if you go there 1-1, you know you've got to be more offensive. And I think it's a mistake to go to Spain with a 1-0 lead and be defensive. The point stands. You might disagree with it, but the point is not stupid. What's with the white lines underneath the score in the top left? This is brilliant. There is very little, if you're watching on Amazon Prime, there is very little in the modern game that can be added to a TV screen that enhances the viewing experience. So if you look under Man City on Prime, you've got 4 white lines. If you look under Real Madrid, you've got 5. That is substitutions. This, I'm a big old moaner. I don't like change. And I think, there is a load of shit stuff that's added to football these days. But I love this. I think it's great. I'm amazed nobody thought about it before. And big up Amazon. I think it's brilliant. Man City have used one of their subs. And I know they have. This is Mark, there is a subreddit online which has different angles of your ears and has subcategories like red, angry ears. I don't believe that, Akio. I don't believe that. Peter Parker says Chelsea's owners could sell a piece of wood for more than what United sold Van der Beek for, says Peter Parker. I think Chelsea's owners could sell a cardboard cutout of Van der Beek for more than we sold him, to be honest. Lucas, thank you and welcome to the Members Club. I think I've said that before. Another injury here. I think Akanji is struggling. He's obviously going to make it to half time. Oh, I've got another topic for half time actually. I got sent it this morning. Somebody'd seen a tweet or something about, has Arteta failed at Arsenal? So we'll talk about that. This is going to be 1-0 to City at half time. I think the funny thing is that even though it could be 1-0 to City at half time, Madrid have been the lovely layoff. Mbappe, oh, he's got to do better there. He's got to do better there. You can't not be in the target from there, mate. One of the best players in the world. Ball rolls along to you lovely in the box. Over the bar. Nah. Sometimes you do look at these players and go, I would put that on target. Really shit shot, mate. Is a hot dog a sandwich, says Sam. Well, no, it's a hot dog, isn't it? United stand. I wasn't doing promotion. I didn't realise. You know when you get a cup of tea and I don't realise what the mug is? Oh, I'll tell you what I'm watching at the moment. And I can tell you it, and you can't ruin it because I've seen the film anyway. And I'm going to watch the film soon afterwards. The Story of Black Hawk Down on Netflix documentary. Oh. Never knew I needed a documentary on that. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I love the film. The film is just brilliant. Half time. 1-0 Man City. Let's have a look at the stats. And I don't know why I'm delaying on that. Man City have actually had 56% of the possession, which surprises me. It feels like Real Madrid have had more of the ball. But 9 shots for City, 9 shots for... I've just noticed, I've never noticed before that it does that. Have you noticed that before? Is that new? Have you noticed how it's green, the winner gets green and the loser gets white on the stats? So 56% in green because they've got more. 9 shots to 6, but they've both got 2 on target. They've both had 4 corners. Man City have played more passes. They've got the 90% pass accuracy is very good, isn't it? Both had 7 tackles each, and Madrid have committed more fouls. I mean, to be fair to Man City, they're 1-0 up, and statistically it doesn't look that bad. But my feeling is that Madrid have been the better side. But I think you'd be very happy if you were Man City. They've played a little bit like underdogs. It's always done that, Mark. Yeah, it's always been that. I'm an idiot. Not very observant of my own graphics. But I think if you were Man City, you'd be very happy with that. We're not used to seeing Man City play like this in Europe. They're normally the more dominant side. But look, that's a hell of a front four. Bellingham, Rodrigo, Vinicius Jr. and Mbappe. And if they can shut them out tonight, I don't think they can do it over 180 minutes. That's the problem. But yeah. Let's answer this question. Has Arteta underachieved at Manchester City, at Arsenal? Look, this is That's Football. We have daily content on the channel. There's normally a 10-minute video if there's not a match watch along. There's content every day. Make sure you subscribe, get involved. Lewis Skelly, 53%. Lewis Hall, 47%. Good vote. Good either or, that one. Appreciate it. Definitely. Let's start this poll. Has Arteta underachieved at Arsenal? Now, I think the answer to this question feeds into exactly why Scholes and Carragher don't think Arsenal are a big enough club for Isak, and why they were more pissed off about Lewis Skelly mocking Haaland's celebration than Morpay doing it about Maddison. I don't subscribe to this, but I think there are pundits and fans out there who just have a massive problem with Arsenal. And I think it clouds judgment. Because when I look at the question of has Arteta underachieved at Arsenal, the honest answer, an obvious answer in my opinion, is he's overachieved. To not win a trophy in the last couple of years is probably disappointing, considering their quality. But let's not forget that the season they finished second and had a title race, most people didn't put them in the top 4. So that's season 1 where they finished second, where they massively overachieved. Season 2, which was last year, they missed out on the title by 2 points with 89 points. I don't think that's underachieving. And then this season, they're second again. I think he's overachieved with a squad that I don't actually think was anywhere near the squad that Man City had to win it twice. And this year, I don't think the squad is balanced in the way to compete with Liverpool either. So I don't think he's overachieved. I don't think he's underachieved at all. I think he's overachieved. But I do think people have an issue with Arsenal that allows them to cloud their judgment. I mean, look, I think for a long time, people were like, why didn't he buy a striker? Why didn't he buy a striker? But is it not obvious that he wants a striker? He literally said it last week. So I still think Arsenal are work in progress. I really do. And you know, people can say he's spent so much. Man United will have spent the same or more, and look at where we are. Chelsea have spent a lot of money, and look where they are. I don't think spending money really becomes a gauge for success unless you're spending double what everybody else is spending, and he's certainly not done that. So I think Arteta, I look at Arsenal and I go, are you seriously having the conversation that you think he should be replaced and somebody else would have done any better? I don't look at Arsenal and think the manager's the problem. I think they need to complete the journey as quick as they can. And to complete that journey, they need 3 or 4 more players. Shane Martin says, if you think the documentary is good, read the book about it, In the Company of Heroes. It's amazing. The story of the captured pilot, says Shane. Well, I haven't finished the documentary yet. I've only done episode 1, so I may well do that. Rub says, Arteta has overachieved. Arsenal has no winning DNA in them. He has started to move them towards the right direction. 100% as well. If you know your recent history, Arsenal for 20 years have not been a title-winning team. They might be a cup-winning team, but look at Man United. Man United have won the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. Being a cup-winning team doesn't mean that you have a consistent mentality. Far from it. So I think in Arsenal now, what they have is that consistent winning mentality that has taken them from a team that is capable of losing to anybody to a team that predominantly beats everybody. Mark, have you seen Wayne's terrible jacket? I haven't seen Wayne Rooney on the screen yet, Sam, but I'll let you know when I do. Oh, here he is. It looks like a coat my mum used to have. It might be Colleen's. Yeah. It's the fur around the top and the fact that it looks like it doesn't fit. But apart from that, no, I mean, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like the fur around the jacket, around the collar. Each their own. I like the jumper though. If we're only judging achievements on trophies, then Ten Hag is on par with Guardiola and better than Klopp, says Hatim. Yeah, there's context. The Snail says, I'd love your opinion. If Siamese twins have a baby, which one is the mother? I can't pass opinion on that, mate. I've got no idea. And thank you very much for your super chats. Is a hot dog a sandwich? Yes or no? That's Sturridge analysing Vinicius Jr. is wild, says Ardo. Look, you know my opinion. These players played football at a high level, and that is absolutely fantastic. But their opinions tend to be pretty shit because they don't watch as much football as you. Sartak says, it's not about achievement, it's about behaviour, Mark. And Alex says, considering the commitment and backing he's received, he has failed. You raise the bar the longer you stay in charge. I think that's a terrible take, Alex. I think that's a terrible take. So, considering the commitment and backing he's received, he has failed. So he picks up a team that can't even get in the Champions League. You've qualified for the Champions League for the last 2 years. You'll qualify again this year, definitely. You're going to be the second best team in England, at least, for the 3rd year in a row. So basically, you're saying that with the commitment and backing he's received, he should have won a Premier League title. Okay. Manchester City have won, is it 4 of the last 5 or 5 of the last 6? Klopp should have won more titles then. He only won 1. I think you've got to put into context that Liverpool with Klopp and Arsenal with Arteta in an ordinary scenario would have won a couple more Premier League titles between them. But they've been up against an unbeatable juggernaut until this season. And we don't know why Man City have fallen off, but over the last 6 years, Man City have been a juggernaut. And I don't know how Jurgen Klopp managed to win that title. I really don't. Because even that was against the juggernaut. But I don't think it really matters what backing you're talking about. Because that's not the argument. You can't just say, oh, Arteta's had £500 million, so he should have won the league. How much has Pep had over a longer period of time? Where he's just adding icing on the, oh, I think I'll have Haaland now. I'm bored of Jesus, I'll have Haaland now. Money doesn't come into it unless Man City stop spending money. Considering, so I disagree with that one, Alex. I really do. If Arteta had the team Pep does he win the Champions League, says Marcio? I don't think this team does. Have you seen SAS Rogue Heroes? I have never watched it, Tracy Taylor. Thank you very much. Have you seen Band of Brothers and the Pacific? I have, Lord McFred. I also watched Masters of the Air, which is the trilogy. They're all brilliant. They're all absolutely brilliant. I mean, I haven't seen Band of Brothers for years. I don't really like to rewatch series because I think it's a waste. You only live once. Try and find something new. But, yeah, brilliant. I'd recommend it. In my humble opinion, I think Arteta overachieved at Arsenal. They were nowhere when he came in. Exactly, Ray. I mean, look, I suppose the biggest thing I could say is if in 3 years' time, starting from next season, Amrim has finished second 3 times, I'd be building a statue. That's the best way I can put it. You know, let Carragher and Scholes and half of you say that Arteta's underachieved. If Amrim did what Arteta's done over the next 3 years, I'd be saying build a statue. I'd be absolutely ecstatic. I'd be disappointed we hadn't won a league, I suppose, but from where we've come from, to go and do that for 3 years, and I would be anticipating a Premier League in the next 2. I think Arsenal will win the title in the next 2 years. So then he's not underachieved. And that's my point about this as well. I wouldn't even be judging Arteta yet because the journey's not over. And I think sometimes people get clouded by the now and they don't take into context the journey or the finish line. And Arsenal are not at the finish line yet. But at the starting line, they were never in this conversation. You go and speak to an Arsenal fan 3 years ago and say you will be in a title race for the next 3 years and finish second. Do you want it? They'd go, yes, please. So, yeah. Thank you very much. City have to score 2 more to be favourites in this match. Yes, back to this game. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. You're very, very welcome. And if you enjoy this community and you fancy meeting up in Dublin bars and enjoying the international break with us on Wednesday, the 19th of March, we'll be taking over Temple Bar. So many lovely bars there. And we have got a live show in Dublin. The link is in the live chat and you can scan that QR code next to me or you can go through the link in the description. It's international break. It's a Wednesday. It's in Dublin and we have a show going on at the Olympia. Massive venue, special guests and 10 years of basically making content and you'd be most welcome to come along and enjoy the evening. And as I say, it's smack in the middle of Temple Bar, which is basically the area that everybody goes drinking when they go to Dublin. And you can get a coffee, by the way, or a water, but a fantastic place to be. And we'd love to see you there. Get your tickets while you can. Fantastic venue. Scan the QR code or go through the link in the description. Very interactive show as well. So it'll be a good night with good people and you're very, very welcome. I have lost my live chat for a moment. Let me just get it back. Players are ready to come out. Yeah, I think I would agree that if Man City are looking to win this tie, I don't feel like 1-0 will be enough because, again, another great point. If it finishes 1-0, Man City are going to go to the Bernabeu and try and hold on to what they've got. And to hold on to what they've got, they would need a clean sheet. So you're not going to shut out this... Well, it's not impossible, but it's very unlikely you're going to shut out this Real Madrid side 2 games in a row. So I think they need more than a 1-0. in my opinion. Grumpy Old Heckler says, Arteta in year 6, Klopp had 9 years, think he's behind where Klopp was trophies-wise, but wouldn't say he's underachieved. Klopp had more experience. Since Arteta came in, says Blake, City, Chelsea, United and Spurs have spent more of the big 6. Along of false narratives comes about his spending, says Blake. I mean, look, I can't analyse Arsenal's spending massively, but, you know, sometimes you have to spend to get what you need. £100 million on Declan Rice is an incredible amount of money. Some would say it was a bargain, but it takes £100 million to do it. Was he wrong? Can you judge him for spending £100 million? But it was a good signing. Havertz was a bad signing, but a lot of people... Oh, another substitution. Akanji's had to go off. I mean, that's a blow for Manchester City. Lewis comes on, but that is a blow for Man City because that would not be a substitution that you'd want to be making. Anyway, we're closing the poll. 53% of you said he has underachieved at Arsenal. The only thing I would concede is that I think maybe more trophies in the last couple of years, but you'd only be talking about the FA Cup, really. I don't think that you could demand a Premier League. We're up and running. Second half. I think Real Madrid will score in the second half, which means Man City have got to score at least one more. I think Declan Rice at £100 million is the epitome of a player that's worth £100 million. I mean, he plays in a position where it's such a premium. You know, you look at Rodri at Man City. Oh, he's at the bar. Haaland, that would have been a massive goal. It did deflect a little bit. Deflected, but he did it the bar. That's the sort of chance you need to go in. I tell you what, this is the thing with Erling Haaland, though. He is a world-class striker, and Real Madrid don't have centre-backs, and he is looking a lot better against centre-backs that aren't centre-backs. I mean, we've seen what he's like against people like Saliba and Gabriel, but this Real Madrid centre-back pairing is a concern. Are we expecting any Real Madrid players back for the second leg? I don't know. Rudiger, Alaba, Militao and Marcelo were in the team photo, but they're not available. A total emergency is what Ancelotti has called it. Chomini's obviously a midfielder. Rudiger's massive in a game like this. Is Rudiger gonna be back for the second leg? Top quality players in spine positions equals premium, says Ardo. Most beautiful Premier League stadium right now, says Daniel. Well, I think when you say beautiful, are we talking about aesthetically beautiful? Or are we talking about, you know, what's your favourite? Jude's been quiet tonight, says Fraser. Thanks for your super chat. Look, I love Goodison Park. I love Villa Park. I love Old Trafford. I respect Anfield because they're grounds that were there when I was a kid. And they hold enormous sentimental value. You then look at a stadium like Spurs and you go, you know, the technology, everything is fantastic. But I respect what Liverpool have done more than any other club, because if you've been to Liverpool recently, it's in no need of being knocked down or replaced, because they've gradually just maintained it and built on it, and they'll keep their spiritual home. And I think they'll do the same at Villa Park as well. Edison will get out of that. Rebecca says, how good was the Super Bowl watch along? I loved it. Yeah, we're back next year, hopefully. Really did enjoy it. Thanks for watching, Rebecca. I think Everton will beat Liverpool tomorrow. I think for the title race, we need them to. Last ever Goodison Park derby as well. We'll be live for that tomorrow. Remember, it's a 7:30 kickoff. Don't get caught out. It's not 8 o'clock. I would hope it will be a really good game. A fiery affair, you know? What's the latest in the other games, Goldbridge? I can tell you now, the latest in the other games are as follows. PSG beat Brest 3-0 in an early kick-off. Juventus are 1-0 up against PSV. Man City are 1-0 up here. And Sporting are still 0-0 with Dortmund. Forest and Exeter in the FA Cup is ongoing at 2-2. Birmingham City are 3-0 up at home to Cambridge. Charlton are drawing with Peterborough. I think Liverpool in their next few games have got Villa away, Man City away and Everton away. And I think if they take anything more than 6 out of those 3, it's game over for the title. We're running out of games for them to drop points. Let's get that stats carousel rolling round. Forest have fully rotated their team, says Jovan. Yeah, we did say this about Liverpool when they had to play Bournemouth, Brentford, and who else was it they played away and won? Bournemouth, Brentford, and Forest, and they took 7 points. Man City made 2 subs here. Akanji's gone off injured. Grealish went off injured, so I think we're at that point in this game where the next goal is massive. If Man City can make it 2-0, that starts to give them the foothold to take to Spain and go through. If they concede the next goal, it's back to square one. So a very important phase of this 2-legged game. Remember, Real Madrid are the holders, and Man City would have been one of the favourites at the start of the season. Taffy says, do you think City have become boring to watch? I found City boring to watch when they were scoring loads of goals anyway. I'm not a big fan of Pep Ball. I preferred Klopp's. Here they are, down the right-hand side. Mbappe lays it off to Camavinga. Back on the right-hand side again. Camavinga needs to go wide. Does. Switch it. You've got an overload. Here's VJ. Into the box. Past Bob. Cuts it back. Free header, Bellingham wide. They are starting to... Yeah, they're starting to get chances that I think you'd almost start to say they've been wasteful. They had a couple of chances in the first half. They had that chance where it was cut back to Mbappe. Vinicius Junior here, brilliant. I mean, it's not easy for Bellingham, but you'd want to be putting it on target. Still not 10 minutes into the second half yet. It's a foul on Camavinga. I've had a super chat here from Mozza. He says, this Madrid fall apart if they concede first or if they can't score in the first 30 minutes. It's a lovely ball by Mbappe out wide. Rodrigo. Still got it. Cut back! Oh, that was better. Good cut back by Rodrigo. Mbappe puts it on target. Ederson makes the same save. They've won it back again, Real Madrid. Been much better than Man City at winning the ball back high up the pitch. Something Man City, obviously... Another corner. Prided themselves on for years. Thank you for all you do, Mark, says Stefano. Thank you very much for your super chat. Appreciate that, mate. Are you going to watch the FIFA World Club Cup? I think a lot of people will watch, Marcus. I think a lot of people will watch the FIFA World Club Cup. I'm probably... I don't know that I will because I just don't really get the concept of it. I don't really understand if you win it. It's a bit like winning the Audi Cup in pre-season, isn't it? Like, what does it mean if you win the World Club Cup? Because already, I think two of the best teams in the world at the moment aren't in it. Liverpool, Barcelona. So how can you profess to be World Club Champion when the best teams aren't in it? At least in the World Cup of countries, you go through a qualification stage that holds merit. And if you don't qualify for it, you're in trouble. But, I mean, Chelsea are in it because they won the Champions League 4 years ago. Why are Salzburg in it? The tournament to me just feels like, again, FIFA rushing something through without actually thinking it through. If you're going to do a Club World Cup, you've got to put the best teams in it. I understand representation from the different areas of the world, like having teams from South America, etc. But Salzburg are in it. You know, there was a space for Liverpool. There was a space for Barcelona. I just think it's a bit of a joke. I don't think it holds any merit, actually. Jacko says, would you have been keen to have Pep at United in 2016 instead of him going to City? Hey, yeah, 100%. You know, here's Mbappe. Look at the pace. He's surely going to get away. Good defending by Vardiol. I feel there's a Real Madrid goal coming. If I know football like I think I do. Here's VJ again. Good tackle by Lewis that time. Yeah, good tackle, Vardiol. Vardiol. I do sense a Real Madrid goal, though. Man City just don't seem to have an out ball at the moment. How the mighty have fallen. I mean, Man City just aren't the same, are they? Although here's De Bruyne into Haaland. Can't shoot from there. Gets it into Savio. Vardiol gets tackled. Silly boy. There's a pass on there, mate. And there. Bellingham. Oh, I didn't see the pass. VJ. Got to go wide. Oh, late free kick. Yeah, book the little shit as well. Ah, it's Bernardo Silva. You should always book him. He's dirty. Definitely yellow card. Doesn't give it. Dortmund are 1-0 up against Sporting, and they're the away team as well. So looking good for Dortmund. Free kick, but I tell you what, I'm just going to say this. I think I said it about a year ago. You know, free kicks, they just never go in. I don't get excited about free kicks anymore. Gone are the days where you used to get a lot of free kicks going in. I mean, look, it's a decent position, but they just don't go in very often, do they? We get excited about a free kick, but actually, they're a good foul to give up. I mean, I'd like to see it go in, but no, crap. Well, Mbappe scored. I did say I sensed the Real Madrid goal coming. We've got it. It's not from a free kick. It's a ball over the top, and Man City's defence has gone to sleep. There's been a lot of close shaves for Man City throughout this game. In fact, they've had more close shaves than a porn star's chuff. But there will be no escape this time. It's a goal. The free kick goes into the wall. It comes back out, and Mbappe is miles onside. There is no... He actually mishits it. But he's miles onside. It's 1-1. There's no debate on this. They won't be taking long on this one. He shinned it in. Really lucky finish. Does not get it right at all. Not offside, Quay. Miles on. And 1-1, game on. And for Man City, you've got to look at their defence there and say, you're up against one of the quickest players in the league, in the world, and you're playing some weird offside trap. You can't be doing that. You've got to defend the cross. Back as we were, 1-1. Mozza says, and now I just feel like a fool. Do you think no away goals is better or worse, as Callum? Let me have a think. So, no, I think it's better without away goals, actually. Again, I don't think there's many things you can change in football to make it better. But in this sense, Real Madrid would have an away goal. And therefore, they'd be in a position where they could be at home a little bit more defensive. Whereas a 1-1 draw makes no difference. So I think we're better off without away goals. Jesse says, notice how Mbappe gets 3 chances or more a game, but we hate on players who barely get a chance. Actually bothered with hoiling out rumours, says Jesse. Well, that's a great point, Jesse. I mean, we talk about this at Man United all the time. I mean, I've watched... Haaland's had 2 chances tonight already, and Man City aren't creating anything. Mbappe's had about 3 or 4. And I think as a striker in a top team, you'd want to know that you're going to get 3 or 4 good chances a game, at least. Man United don't even provide 1 sometimes, so... Service is key. But it's a great point. Man United don't create chances like that. Daniel says, has anyone got any good manager career ideas for EAFC? Give me 3. I think Man City need to be worried here. Mbappe down the left-hand side. Puts the cross in. Back post. 2-0. Oh, I thought he'd scored. Valverde, he's got a lovely shot. He's scored bangers before. Came to him on the right-hand side. Just put it wide. Got a lovely technique on his shooting as well. 3 EAFC career modes that would be good. Newcastle. Everton. I'm only going to give you Prem ones. Newcastle, Everton, if you want a bit of a challenge. And let's go with something a little bit easier. I'd say Man United, but they overhype Man United a little bit. They're better than they actually are in real life. Spurs is always a good one as well. a good mixture of players, but obviously Spurs. Howder says Mbappe did a Panenka for floating in the air. Goal of the month at this point, says Howder. Half an hour to go. Well, Man City are going to now need to not lose this game. I mean, ideally, they'll score again and win. Look at the acceleration from Bellingham. Kovacic with a good recovery tackle. Niall says, with away goals, though, the away team won't have an incentive to sit back. Makes game more entertaining, arguably. With away goals, though, the away team won't have an incentive to sit back. Yeah, I see what you mean. But Real Madrid haven't done that. Real Madrid could have sat back here and gone, let's beat them in Spain. What a ball that is by Vinicius Jr. into Mbappe. But Stones is there to cover. Kovacic, decent ball forward. Keeper's off the line though. Haaland doesn't get there. Jade, it's on Amazon Prime, this game. I made that mistake as well. I put TNT on and I was like, where is it? But it's on Amazon Prime. Man City still got 52% possession, which I don't know what... I felt like this at half time. What are Man City doing with this 50% possession that they've got? I don't see Man City on the ball. I don't know where this possession's coming from. It's weird. If only United could play with this pace and tempo, we slow down the pace way too much and it's not entertaining. Yeah, the pace in which decent teams move the ball it's night and day with the way Man United do it. But the quicker you move the ball, the more the opposition are out of position. It ain't rocket science, baby. Nice ball again. Oh, it's going to make it. Great save, Edison. They are hanging on here. Bellingham should score it. Lovely play, De Bruyne. Now Man City, but they're not going to get that. That was lovely play. That should have been 2 to Madrid. Edison. He's made some good saves tonight, Edison. I'd say Edison, Man City's man of the match. Easily. And Mbappe's in again. Looked a bit offside. Oh, he's hit the post. This is... well, he was offside, but they are all over them at the moment. Yeah, he's gone a bit too soon there. It's heating up, says Cax. And Gunnar it was who said about wishing United could play with this tempo. City are such an average team without Rodri, says Big Mal. Hey, mate, high five for that. I'm still convinced that Man City are a one-man team. I'm absolutely convinced that it's actually the Mbappe thing. The Rodri thing. Man City fans won't have it. Loads of people won't have it. But they're just really ordinary without Rodri. And we already knew that before the injury. The stats backed it up. For the last 2 years when he was fit, when Rodri didn't play, they were shit. I just think they're a one-man team. Which is incredible. How can a dynasty that's been built on wealth be so reliant on one player? And also, you know what it also does? It diminishes Pep Guardiola as a manager, that actually it's not about your tactics, it's about one player. Here's Foden. Goes wide. Cross is not good enough, it'll go for a corner. He's fell off, hasn't he, Foden? Dortmund are 2-0 up, by the way. Thank you to Ben. Sports says, it's normal though. Imagine if Liverpool lost Salah for a full year. Yeah, but mate, I disagree. Yes, if you lose an important player, there will be a drop-off. But Man City fell off a cliff. Look at Arsenal without Odegaard. They still were in a title race. Look at Arsenal without Saka. They've still maintained a title race. I think Liverpool without Salah, arguably, would still keep winning games. Man City have literally lost fucking loads. Nath Footy says, if Rodri is so influential, does that justify his Ballon d'Or? I think at the time, I think it should have gone to Vinicius Jr. and I still do, but it does enhance Rodri's reputation, just how shit Man City are without him. You lose an important player, it's going to have an impact, but it's had a huge... Oh, look, I remember in the 97-98 season, Roy Keane did his cruciate ligament in the autumn and was out for the whole season. We still pushed Arsenal to the title for most of the season. And Arsenal won it, but we still pushed them. And we didn't have our captain and best player. So, yeah, it has an impact. But Man City haven't even maintained a bloody title race, have they? They're miles off. They shouldn't have fell off this much because of one player. A lovely play here by Bernardo Silva. Gets Lewis in. Cut back. And he was caught late after the ball, but you don't get penalties for that. In FIFA, that would have been a penalty. Got caught after the pass. But you don't get penalties for that these days. Same with United when McTominay left, says Josep. Havertz injured, says Connor. I didn't know. I thought that was a joke. So it's not a joke. Well, look. It's the same for Chelsea, it's the same for Man United, it's the same for every team that refused to do business in the January transfer window. You look at Aston Villa, they've shown that you can do really good business in January and give yourself, you know, reinvigorated energy. I think that but all I would say is Mikel Arteta was frustrated they didn't bring a striker in. I mean, what more can you do? It wasn't a conscious decision. He wanted a striker. You didn't get one. I can't be a hypocrite. I said Arsenal absolutely had to buy a striker and they didn't do it. And it's damaging their ambitions for the second half of the season, whether that be winning the title or winning the Champions League. If you haven't brought a striker in, you're walking on thin ice, and if they fall through it, they've only got themselves to blame. I think Man City have steadied the ship here for the last few minutes. Will you bring TUSFC back, says Amin. I would love to bring it back, mate. I really would. The problem is, I like many others, don't actually enjoy the gameplay this year. So it's hard. It's hard to pick up the controller and play it. I haven't played the game in about 3 months. It was almost 6 in a row, though. It was inevitable, says Juan. That was that Bellingham chance. Big save by Edison. Exeter are playing well, says Clash with Lie. They are 2-2 in the 75th minute. That would be extra time and penalties. I think the FA Cup, get rid of extra time. Who's with me? PSV are 1-1 with Juventus, by the way. That means Juventus could be in trouble in the second leg, because it's in It's for PSV, isn't it? They'll be home next leg. Dortmund looking very strong. Garassi and Gross 2-0 at Sporting, so they're looking very good for the second leg. So they are. Yeah, Lee Berman says straight to penalties in the cup. Yeah, I don't see the point in extra time. Especially when you think about that Spurs game against Tamworth. If that had gone straight to penalties, get rid of extra time. People play too many minutes as it is. Go straight to penalties. It would make it a lot more exciting. I'd love to trial it because I think in the last 10 minutes of 90, people would be more attacking. I really wish Golden Goal had been given more time as well. I still think it was a good concept that people just didn't really take advantage of. Trossard's having a moan here, the ref. What's your problem, man? A bit of pushing and shoving going on between them. That's what it is. Thanks everyone who's tuned in tonight, by the way. Are we about to get a twist in the tail with 15 minutes to go? Rachel Todd says, coming from a Liverpool fan, Mark, I agree with you a lot about football. Well, that's good on here because this is a channel for everybody. So I try to be less red-tinted glasses. It probably helps the fact that United are shit as well. There's not really going to be a lot of bias. Talking about United, Dan says, with how bad United are now, do you think McFred in the midfield would be better? That's a tough question to answer. I mean, I really detested that midfield too. So I'd have to say no. But I suppose the hesitation comes from the fact that time can be kind on a lot of things. Where is the 200 million City spent, spoilt brats, says Matthew. Surprised he hasn't used Mamouche tonight, actually. I mean, he's looked. He is on the bench. He's given a penalty. Ah, no way is that a penalty. No way. Well, I might get proven wrong here, but you know when you see a tackle and you go, no way. I don't for 1 minute think this is a pen. Oh, I think he has got his foot planted in the box. It will be a penalty. I certainly think it's a foul, and I think he's planted his foot in the box. Ancelotti can't believe it. It didn't look like a penalty, but I think that I'd like to see it again. It looks like his foot's on the edge of the box when he I mean, look at him lying down like he's really hurt. There's nothing wrong with him. Let's have a look. Here we go. No. Yeah. I don't think they can. You know, having seen it, I think it probably is a penalty. He makes a lot out of it, but it's late. His foot is on the edge of the box. There's nothing wrong with him, though. That's just acting to get the penalty. There was never anything wrong with him in the first place. Big chance for Man City with 10 minutes to go. I mean, if they can come out of this game with a 2-1 win, you've got to be absolutely ecstatic with it because there's no way they've been very good in this game. It's going to be a real smash and grab. Man City will be over the moon with this. Can we do a poll on whether it was a penalty? Yeah. Was it... Oh, why is caps lock on? Now it's fucking frozen. Was it a pen? Yes or no? Are you going to do Chelsea-Brighton, says Max? The plan is to do that. What do you reckon on bonus points if the Prem score more than 4, get a bonus point, says Jason? Nah. Let's not mess around with it. Never a penalty outside the box, but VAR needs to reside, says Rowan. I think his foot was on the line. So I think it was. Haaland puts it in the bottom corner. Doesn't do his stupid celebration that time. It's a slide. God, I can't stand him. That probably means he's a good player, though, to be fair. Well, Real Madrid have only got themselves to blame. But having said that, I just think Man City, I think Real Madrid's defence is so bad, you can score against it. You can get opportunities. Two legitimate goals for Man City, but across the game, I don't think they've been good enough to win it. So if they can walk away with this with a win, I think they'll be very, very, very happy. Yeah, I am doing the Merseyside derby tomorrow. Join us at 7:30 for that. Big Mal says, without Rodri, they're average, and with him, their best team in the league. If this was you, as Mark, I'd call on Ineos to address that no depth in midfield. Thank you, Big Mal, for your super chat. Quite split on the penalty. I think it was. Oh, my God. What were those teeth? Like a horse. Well, Real Madrid can't afford to concede again here. I think they can come back from 1-0 down in Spain. But Modric is on. Poppy says, I haven't seen the penalty, but I'm voting it wasn't a penalty because I hate Man City. I think that's a fair point. At least you're being honest. Andre Gomez says, what do you think Ineos want to do with the academy players? Sell them for profit or get them on the first team and save costs on transfers? I think both scenarios work for them. We'll have to wait in the fullness of time. I thought Ceballos knew his Ceballos, says Kenneth Turney. Clever play by Foden, though. Good penalty by Haaland. Be a massive scalp for Man City. I mean, look, if they can hold on here, take a 2-1 lead to Spain, it's about as much as I would have expected out of this tie for them, especially the way the game's gone. Who knows? Mark Dillitz is a Dutch Chris Smalling without pace. Mazraoui is one. I'm not even Abraham. Thank you. I don't have to read. Let me just say, Abraham, just because you do a super chat doesn't mean I have to read shit comments. I'm not interested. Like, if you're going to troll me, try and be a little bit more subtle. Just not going to read it. Never a penalty, says IT and 89 Ben. I think it was naive by Ceballos, and I think it allowed Foden to make the most of it. Pep running the clock down now, making another couple of substitutes. We've started to see Man City players going down injured as well. How the mighty have fallen, hey Pep. riding your luck on a good goalkeeper and wasting time. Mamouche is on now, though. About 10 minutes to go. Bailey Spencers, I think you missed my super chat about Vinicius Junior or Salah. Well, thank you very much, mate, for alluding to that. But we have got a poll going on at the moment. And it's locked on 50-50, so I can't do another one at the moment. But I will do it. I think Real Madrid have been a bit wasteful tonight as well. I think if they end up losing the game, they've got to look at themselves and say that I mean, look at the Bellingham chance. Mbappe had another big chance. They've had 16 shots to 11, but with a weak defence, you've got to take your chances. Mbappe, Bellingham, nice layoff. Edge of the box is where you want to go there now. 85 minutes, 5 to go. Crap cross. Easy for Edison. Ancelotti does not look happy. But Bellingham's won it back. Gets it wide. Mbappe is going to go on the overlap here, but it goes into Vinicius Junior. Shouldn't be shooting from there. 2-2! Well, maybe he should be shooting from there. Man City will be kicking their arse here. I mean, Vinicius Junior hits a shot from an angle he shouldn't hit it. But Edison can only palm it out, and then they followed up, and it's an impact, instant impact from Brahim Diaz from the bench. Pep can't believe it. Haaland can't believe it. It's bad defending again. And I'm just going to tweet it, just for the laugh. City's defence is shite. LOL. It is so bad. I mean, literally, you've been gifted a penalty with 10 minutes to go. Defend. Where's their defence? I mean, as I say, Vinicius Junior shooting from there probably catches Edison out. But there's just nobody reacting, and it drops to Diaz unmarked on the edge of the 6-yard box for a tap-in. I don't think Edison's goalkeeping's that good there, but where's the defence? Absolute joke. Ganter says, what is the minimum spend Ineos should do for the manager they hired? $500 million at least, mate. Is there any day United could buy Pedri, Mark, says Flash? I doubt it. 51% of you said it wasn't a penalty. I'm now going to do Bailey's either or of VJ or Salah. I think we're all ready for this vote. Either or. Vinny J or Salah. 22,000 tuning in. Absolute legends. I think Real Madrid now. Just get out of Dodge. You should have won it. You could have lost it. Take the point. Take the draw. Take them back to Spain. You'll be massive favourites there. Bring it on. Both defences have been poor. You can understand Real Madrid's defence being poor. They literally don't have any centre-backs. But Manchester City, again, they just can't defend without Rodri, can they? I mean, I think that's... Not only is he the conductor for how they play forward, he's also the protector of the defence. They're a one-man band. Why can't anybody understand? They're a one-man band. Thanks for all your super chats tonight. Thanks for all the new subscribers as well. Remember, tomorrow we're live for the Merseyside derby. The second leg of this, I believe, is next Wednesday. on the 19th. Yeah. Constantine says, have you seen Attack on Wembley? No. Still can't believe Mende didn't score that goal early on. I don't understand why players shoot in low from 2 foot out when it's always anticipated, says Louis. Mate, 2-2 and Real Madrid probably should have had another 2. I can't think of any big chances that Man City have had. A couple of half chances, but Real Madrid have definitely missed a couple of big chances. And I mean, if Man City don't get a winner here in the next few minutes, I'll be stunned if they go to Spain and win. I just can't see it. Unless there's a silly sending off or something, I can't see Man City over 90 minutes winning in Spain. Salah is 60% to 40% on Vinny Jr. here. I'd go Vinicius Jr. over Salah if I was taking a player, but that obviously age comes into a factor into it. But as I've always said, I mean, Mo Salah is underappreciated for what he does. City got 5 defenders on the pitch, but still shit, says Natty. I think if I'm Madrid, I'm taking this now. I'm taking this point. Don't forget. Oh, it's gone now. Where is it? There it is. Don't forget, if you want to be at our live show in Dublin in the international break, it's on Wednesday, 19th of March. We've got some really exciting guests from a certain pop band. I don't know whether we call them a pop band, The Script. It's going to be a great night right in the middle of Dublin. It'd be great to see you there. Interactive show as well. Get your tickets while you can. Links in the description, live chat, or you can scan the QR code. That's that Mbappe shot. I mean, he absolutely mishits that. I mean, that was a bit lucky, the Mbappe first goal, but they should have scored some other chances as well. Mbappe's coming off now. Garcia comes on. As I say, if I'm Real Madrid here, take the point. It's not a point. Take the draw. Get them back to Spain. Use the home crowd and batter them. Oh, he could be in here. Vinicius Jr. He's lobbed it. And Bellingham is going to win it. It's over now. It's 3-2. They came, they saw, they conquered. Man City's defence, I repeat, is absolutely shit. MIA, missing in action. And they said that Ruben Diaz was one of the world's best defenders. You know what? I've always wanted to say this. How many years, when it comes to the end of the season, do people always put Ruben Diaz in their Premier League Team of the Year? Have you actually ever analysed him? He had one good season. He's so overrated. It's unbelievable. He's not even that good when he plays for Portugal. He is massively overrated. He had one good season and then everybody put him in their Premier League Team of the Year every year because he plays for City. He's just not that good. He's just not that good. And are you going to do a Man City in crisis video? Oh, I don't know about that. I don't think it. I expected this result. That's football, says Mike Royce. Well, I was literally just saying Real Madrid should just take the draw. They should have won the game, but they should take the draw now. It's been a weird old game. And they've lost 3-2. Cheerio, Pep. You're going out of Europe, mate. You're going to have to produce an absolute worldie in Spain. You're 3-2 down. I don't know how he does that with that defence. He'll be fuming again. But, yeah. I mean, the fact that Real Madrid won that game 3-2, it's scary because they could have won that game. If they win it 3-2 anyway, they could have won. They should have scored another 2. They could have won 5-2. And I think the big takeaway for me is that most of you predicted that that Real Madrid would win this game. And it's been a good game. 5 goals, love it. Can't wait for the second leg. Many of you predicted that Real Madrid would win this game. Fair play, well done. My only thing I would say was that it's sometimes difficult because although Man City are factually shit, you never know what the Premier League against La Liga is season to season until you get teams from the league playing against each other. And I think what we've seen tonight is that Real Madrid are on a different level to Manchester City. So if you are Liverpool and Arsenal and you're thinking about your Champions League hopes, or Aston Villa, I'd say Real Madrid and Barcelona are 2 teams that you're going to have to be pretty worried about because their attack, Real Madrid's attack and the way they move the ball is a joy to watch. Their passing and movement. So, yeah, fair play to Madrid. They were fantastic tonight. Daniel Winstanley says, did Man City mess up in the transfer window? My assessment of Man City's 200 million in the transfer window is it's either going to be an absolute waste of money or it's projection for the future because they think they're getting a transfer ban. That those deals certainly weren't to win the Champions League. They were future signings, weren't they? They're almost future-proofing the club, I think, because those players aren't ready to play yet. But there we go. Thanks everyone for watching. Don't forget, tomorrow night it's a 7:30 kickoff, which is a bit unusual, but it's Everton against Liverpool, the last ever Goodison Park Merseyside derby, and also one of the last chances for Liverpool to drop points and allow Arsenal to get into a title race, I think. So a big game tomorrow night. Very excited, and hopefully it can be as good as this game that we've had tonight, because I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Imagine being Pep on Valentine's night, says Shahin. Whoops, thank you very much for being a member. Take care, I'll see you tomorrow night. Thank you everyone for watching. And don't forget, if you want to get tickets to our live show, go and get them now. Scan the QR code or go through the video in the description. It's in Dublin, it's in the international break next month. It's going to be a cracker, and we'd love to see some of you there with us. Take care, speak to you later.